Hello everyone, my name is Richard, and I'll be giving you a virtual tour of our campus today. I'm currently a junior studying civil engineering. I'm in a fraternity on campus, and I also sing in a choir that's a joint club between Rutgers and NJIT. We'll be starting at Fenster Hall, which has our admissions office, our Office of Global Initiatives for International Students and Study Abroad programs, and our career development services. And their job is basically to help us get jobs once we graduate. They hold resume reviews, mock interviews, and they hold a career fair each semester that has many companies come to campus to meet students. Lastly, Fenster Hall is also home to our biomedical engineering department, so if you're in that program, this is where you would be coming to meet with your advisor or for some labs. Next, we have Cullimore Hall, which is our Department of Mathematics and Humanities, and you will likely have classes in here no matter your major. Professors are required to hold office hours for each week where you can meet with them for help with studying, and for example, most of your math professors would have their office in this building. Moving on, here's the campus center, which, as the name implies, is quite a busy place. I'll let this explanation from another student give a quick overview.
The Campus Center is where students, faculty, and employees go to eat, play, study, or just hang out. Grab a meal at the cafeteria or the Highlander Club, or pick up a snack from the C-Store Express and take it outside to the rooftop garden. Check your email or catch up on your computer science project in the computer lab. Chill in the two-story student lounge or head downstairs to the game room to play arcade games, pool, ping pong, or challenge your friends to bowl in the 6-lane bowling alley.
So the campus center has a lot going on, but most importantly, it has many of the offices for our student clubs, such as Student Senate, and it also has most of the places for food on campus. Going inside, here you have the dining hall, which has many different options available every day. Some change every day or even multiple times a day, like the entree or your carving stations, while others always offer the same options in case you don't like the daily specials. To gain access to the dining hall, you can either pay for a plan before the semester begins, or pay per entry without a dining plan. However, it is mandatory to get an unlimited access dining plan if you are a first or second year student and you're living in an on-campus residence hall. There are also several other eateries in the campus center, like a sandwich shop or a Taco Bell, as well as cafes and convenience stores, which are popular options for commuters. When choosing a dining plan, you can also purchase Flex Points, which is an NJIT currency usable at all the on-campus restaurants and convenience stores. Lastly, as mentioned in the audio clip, there's a game room in the basement of the campus center, which I'll go show you now. And as you can see, ping pong tables, pool tables, and our own bowling alley that's all free for students to use while it's open. Now, heading outside, we find ourselves in the center of campus. It's a nice spot to hang out, study, or eat in between classes, and you'll commonly see students playing games or hosting events on the fields. I'd like to take a moment and talk about campus safety at NJIT, beginning with this silver box by the staircase here. This is the blue light system. Every building on campus has one of these boxes, and they have an emergency button that will alert public safety, and they'll be at your location in less than a minute. NJIT Public Safety is trained by state law enforcement and given the same resources, and we are ranked 6th for campus safety in the country. They also offer an escort service that will walk or drive you around campus at night, or pick you up from Broad Street Station, for instance. Walking down this way, we have the Central Avenue building, which is home to our library and also the Martin Tuckman School of Management. The library has one of our many computer labs on campus, and NJIT, being an institute of technology, means you'll be learning how to use many different programs for your classes, and every computer on campus comes pre-installed with almost any program you'll need. Additionally, you can download many student versions of these programs on your own computers or laptops through the NJIT website. We also have textbooks and many other texts in our library for research, and you can also request materials from the Rutgers Newark Library as well, or Newark's own public library. Now for the School of Management, I always like to talk about the Ray Cassetta Financial Analysis Lab with these computers and the stock ticker above the door. These computers are Bloomberg terminals developed by IBM, and they're a great example of the sorts of hands-on and practical learning focus at NJIT. This is software used by people on Wall Street every single day, and our business students are learning how to use them very early in their curriculum, and you can find similar examples in every single program at NJIT. We actually have a one-of-a-kind partnership with IBM where business students can receive a certification for their software, and they're actually guaranteed an interview with IBM when they graduate, which are both fantastic opportunities. Coming back outside, here we have our Department of Mechanical and Industrial Engineering. And this building is a great example of the research done at NJIT. It's actually locked 24/7. You can only enter if you're a student in the department because it has a ton of lab and research equipment that is very expensive. NJIT is an R1 research facility, which is the highest classification a university can receive, and many professors and students get involved with research in their departments, and students can even be paid to participate. Next, we have the Gutenberg Information and Technology Center, which is home to our Yingwu College Computer and also the NJIT Makerspace, which I will allow this clip to introduce.
The NJIT Makerspace is a state-of-the-art prototyping and fabrication facility where students have access to a wide range of modern technologies for bringing concepts into reality.
Stepping inside, the Makerspace has all sorts of 3D printers and other fabrication technology that's free for any student to use regardless of their major. All you have to do is attend an introductory and safety course offered a few times each month and then purchase materials. The rest of the building has our computer science department and a few common use lecture halls. I'd like to take some time and talk about the general class size at NJIT now. We are a smaller university and we have about a 17:1 student to faculty ratio. Most of your classes will be around 30 people, and even the largest lectures will only have about 70 or 80 students. You'll never see a 300-person lecture like some larger schools. Additionally, when you're in those 70 or 80 student classes, there'll be a recitation period built into your class schedule, which is time where a section of 15 or so students will meet in class with a teacher's assistant and have time to review problems or work on homework and such. NJIT offers a lot of resources to help stay on top of your classes, like professors' office hours, your TA's office hours, and there's also several student-run tutoring centers on campus that we'll see later. Stepping outside, we have our 2 freshman residence halls at NJIT. First, we have Redwood Hall, which is communal-style living, meaning that you and your roommate share bathrooms with the whole floor that are cleaned by staff multiple times per day. On the other hand, Cypress Hall is street-style living, which is also how the rest of the residence halls on campus are modeled, and where I stayed my freshman year. Taking a look inside, the way it works is that there are 2 rooms with 2 people each, and then the 4 of you share a bathroom together that you're in charge of cleaning. Every room on campus comes with a bed, a desk, a chair, a lamp, and a dresser for each student. You're also allowed to bring other appliances, such as a refrigerator, microwave, or television, and you should Google the NJIT Res Life Handbook for a full list of what you can and can't bring. Every residence hall on campus also has study lounges, a game room with a communal TV, laundry, and also a communal kitchen for students to use. There are also single and triple rooms available in each hall, offered at an increased and reduced price, respectively. Coming back outside, here we have our new soccer field, which students can actually use as long as there isn't a team practicing on it at the moment. Coming back towards the campus center, we'll now talk about Kupfrian Hall. It has several classrooms used by every major, but its main feature is the Gymwise Theater, where our theater department, which is shared with Rutgers Newark, performs every semester. There are also several musical groups such as a wind ensemble, jazz band, and choir that perform here and in various other spaces, and I'm actually part of the choir myself. Moving on, we have Turner Hall, which has our chemistry, physics, and environmental science departments. Freshman engineers will become very familiar with this building, as this is where your introductory physics and chemistry lectures and labs will be. Next, we have our Wellness and Events Center, also called the WEC, which has our stadium as seen here and several other amenities for both students and athletes alike. We have many different sports teams, and we are a Division I school. So here's the stadium inside, where the basketball teams and volleyball teams would practice and then play games. And coming over here, there's an indoor swimming pool that can be used by students as long as there's no team or practice or event. And there are also a practice basketball court and racquetball courts, as well as a gym, which I'll show you now. So here's the gym. Heading back outside and down this alley, here we have our Albert Dorman Honors College and Residence Hall. I highly recommend applying to our honors program as the benefits are outstanding, particularly financially and also being able to live in our newest residence hall. There's also a short little trivia piece about Albert Dorman that I'll let this student recording explain.
The most interesting thing about the Albert Dorman's Honors College is the man it's named for. Albert Dorman is a civil engineering graduate from NJIT. His first major project is the design and creation of Disneyland Park in California. He was hired and spoke with Walt Disney himself. When starting the design process, Walt Disney had told him to keep trying to think up anything and everything he thought to make the park amazing.
So I just think that's a little fun fact about the school. Up this road is one of our parking decks, and any student can pay for a parking pass regardless of year or if they're staying on campus or not. There's also a light rail station, which is basically Newark's own subway system that can take you around the city, and to Newark Penn or Broad Street Station, which can take you anywhere NJ Transit can take you. For example, New York City is only a 20-minute train ride away, and I have gone plenty of times with my friends. I'm actually from Pennsylvania myself, a pretty rural area in PA, and I've probably gone to New York City more times in my first year at NJIT than I had in my whole life before that, and I think that's pretty funny. Moving down this way, we have a few more on-campus dining options, such as the Village Market, which is a convenience store and grill, and also a smash burger. Around the corner, we have our Greek Village, which is on-campus housing for our students in Greek life. I'm in a fraternity named Psi Upsilon, and it's taught me a lot of skills, and it was a great way to meet new friends. I highly recommend becoming involved in any club on campus, Greek life or otherwise. You'll learn many important skills and make very good connections. Going back towards the rest of campus, here we have Faculty Memorial Hall, which has many labs for electrical engineers. Coming over here and crossing the street, here we have our two remaining residence halls, Laurel and Oak Hall, which are both for upperclassmen. Laurel is basically the same layout as Cypress, but Oak actually has living rooms and kitchen spaces in each room, making it a hotly contested space for older students. There's also a second parking deck here, which has our public safety headquarters and also the bursar, registrar, and financial aid officers in the basement. Lastly, here's the Life Sciences and Engineering Center, which has some new labs for a few different programs. Moving on, we have our bookstore, which sells school supplies, merchandise, and textbooks. There's also a price match system for the textbooks, so if you find one online for a cheaper price, the bookstore will sell it to you for that cheaper price. Next, we have our Hilliard College of Architecture and Design. These programs are much more project-based than exam-based, and students actually receive their own studio workspace in the building that they have 24/7 access to. The other building here is Colton Hall, which is home to the Department of Civil and Environmental Engineering. Every department has associated clubs and professional societies, such as the American Society of Civil Engineers and also the Concrete Canoe Club, which, yes, it is as ridiculous as it sounds, but very fun and informative. Lastly, these masonry structures are actually developed by architecture students as part of a class project and are changed out every few years. Moving on, here we have Campbell Hall, which has our Center for Counseling and Psychological Services. They're on-campus therapists and psychiatrists that are free to use if you need their services. There's also the new Microfabrication and Innovation Center, a lab and research space for electrical, computer, and biomedical engineers. Our last stop today is the Central King Building, also called CKB. CKB has many classroom spaces, study lounges, and breakout rooms so you can rent with friends to practice presentations. The main draw is the basement, which is home to several tutoring centers on campus. Here's the Math Tutoring Center, where you can come and work at your own pace, and if you run into a problem, you can raise your hand and ask for help from a tutor. This is different from seeing your professor or TA for their office hours or for tutoring, because they typically like you to come with specific questions, but if you come to here, it's much more free flow. You can work at your own pace, and sometimes you might even find that you don't even need any help, which is always nice. There are also the Physics and Chemistry Tutoring Centers here. And then at the end of the hall is our writing center, which is actually run by staff. You'd be surprised being at a STEM school and a STEM program how much writing you'd have to do, but there are always research papers and lab reports and things like that. And the writing center will help you at any stage of the writing process for any kind of paper. And many introductory English professors will also require that you come here during your semester to become familiar with it, since it's such a useful resource. Stepping back outside of the building, we're just about done with the tour. And I'd just like to mention that Rutgers Newark is literally across the street, and you can cross-register classes with them for no additional fees. That's all I have for today, though. So thank you so much for checking out NJIT, and enjoy the rest of your days.